have to just run. Start where you are. Start with a comfortable distance. If 5K is the best distance you can start with right now, start with that. And obviously, with consistency and over time, then you're able to feel like actually you can also do a 10 kilometer. Yeah. In 2022, I guess I just decided, let me just download the program online. So I started with the 21 kilometer program. And what's funny is that at the time I didn't even have a watch.
Oh, yeah.
So I was using my phone.
Okay.
I downloaded that Nike app. I personally waited for 2 years before I started running Comrades.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was exactly to feel like I have done enough training. My body can be able to, run for such distances. Same question when I ran in Comrades. I was like, I'm still not ready to run Comrades, right? So when am I gonna run? I was like, I'll see, maybe next year. But I knew it can't be that I can run in June 2024.
Yeah.
Because for me, I've always had people say you at least need a year to prepare. I was like, I'm still not obviously ready for that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, 2025.
Target has moved to sub 9. Why?
If we were to just talk about pace, right? Not talk about Comrades. Personally, I can easily do a 6 minutes pace. I'm intentional about my long runs.
Yeah.
They must at least be at 6 minutes.
Folks, welcome to this episode of the Runners Podcast with myself, Phola Kula. Today we are talking everything again Comrades. We are in the Comrades season and we decided to host someone who has run their first Comrades Marathon 2025 and they are chasing their back-to-back this year, 2026. And we are talking to Imbogodo, Usis Phola Kula, and yeah, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's show Phola some love. And without further waste of time, Madam, welcome to Runners Podcast with Roadshow.
Hi guys, thank you Roadshow for inviting me today. I'm excited to share my insights in running and the love of the sport. And hopefully you guys enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe, like you already said.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's good. I've done the intro. You are chasing your back-to-back. And you gave me the scope previously that you are chasing a Bill Rowan 6 minutes per kilometer medal from Devon to Pietermaritzburg. So, but yeah, we'll just quickly do an introduction of who you are and yeah.
Okay. So I am a runner. I consider myself an endurance runner. I'm basically based in Johannesburg, Centurion. I run with Waterfall Athletics Club. I'm actually a part of the executive as a training officer. So I joined Waterfall in 2023 and I have since started running my marathon, and I did my first Comrades last year as a novice. So basically do my back-to-back this year, which is again giving myself an ambitious goal of sub 9 hours. I know it's not easy, but yeah, I'm training for it.
Yeah, ne? Yeah. Guys, I'm still trying to run Robert Mchali, which is like 7 minutes per K. Ay. And yeah, it's kind of difficult. So I can just imagine the training that you're going through. But let's just, from the Comrades Roadshow that we attended, both of us, what are the takeaways or what have you learned from that roadshow? Let's build up from that.
Okay. So actually, I think that was one of the most insightful Comrades initiatives, which I think if perhaps they also had them last day, I would have loved to have attended one. So I think Coach Perry was basically the one who was giving us some insights in terms of how our training should be structured, from obviously the time when we really have to start preparing what kind of distances we need to be covering as part of our long runs. So I think it was quite insightful, because sometimes if it's your first Comrades, you actually don't know how to even structure a program, whether you should just consistently run the same distance every week, what long run is really sufficient to give you the confidence, to run 90K. Obviously, you don't want to do 90K on training, but you just have to be able to train and build up endurance such that you can be able to, finish that 90 kilometers at the end of the day. So I think some of the insights that I really loved from Coach Perry was basically telling us right now to say, your Comrades training is started. You obviously have to decide your long run that you must do. Preferably 56 is good enough. Personally, I agree with him. It's good enough. I don't think you have to do more than that. Even for my first Comrades, I approached in a similar manner. I did 2 oceans. That was my longest run during my Comrades training. So I think, you just have to do obviously your Saturday long runs, recovery runs on Mondays. That's what we typically do. But you shouldn't feel like you are exhausted, at the end of your program. You must have a plan in terms of how you're gonna recover, which obviously nutrition is part of what you need to be also looking out for in terms of what is it that your body needs after you do that long run, so that you can be able to continue running. So I think those are some of the insights that were shared on that roadshow, and I find that if you really don't know, you're clueless where to begin, maybe it's a good way to start maybe following Coach Perry and just seeing some of his teachings around preparation for Comrades.
And secondly, they spoke about women in running, that they want to encourage more women to run Comrades, of which personally I don't like. I'm done putting pressure on people to say, no, I can do Comrades. And I just encourage people to start running. 21 is the best distance that I encourage people to do. But what's your take on women field?
Okay, so firstly, I 100% agree with you. You have to just run. Start where you are. Start with a comfortable distance. If 5K is the best distance you can start with right now, start with that. And obviously, with consistency and over time, then you're able to feel like actually you can also do a 10 kilometer, and you can go to and do your 21. So for me, I would say let's rather encourage each other to just start running, because running for me is a lifestyle, and I think it's one of those exercises that it doesn't take a lot from you. Like, I mean, you can wake up anytime in the morning, go and run. You don't have to plan much. So I feel like let's just encourage each other to start running. Doesn't matter what the distance, but one thing about being surrounded by Comrades runners, they'll always convince you, to go and
toxicity.
run. Yeah, but I guess listen to your body. Also, your training must also reflect that you are ready to start training for Comrades. I personally waited for 2 years before I started running Comrades. And the reason for that was exactly to feel like I have done enough training, my body can be able to, run for such distances. So I was basically building a base, which I would encourage any new runner out there to build a base.
But is it easy for women to actually start running from where you're sitting? I mean, from your experience, is it easy for women to do this crazy thing that I've been doing for 24 years?
I wouldn't say it's easy. Comrades is not easy for anyone, right? But obviously it would be more challenging to women, because I mean, we do need the support at the end of the day to be able to be out there on the roads and feel safe to even run, So I feel like it's not necessarily easy. However, with the kind of clubs that we now have, we can be able to have a community where women can also participate, in such club runs and be able to run longer distances. Because for me, the basics should be first that you build a base and you are able to comfortably run a long distance, and then you can now be inspired, to also do comrades. So comrades shouldn't be the initial goal to say, oh, I'm going into running, I want to run comrades next year. No. First, develop a routine, right? And then build your fitness over time. There's guys who don't microwave running.
Whatever.
Take your time, and don't feel pressure. You'll get there. You just need to believe in yourself that this is something that I can, keep consistently do until I feel comfortable, running ultras and comrades.
I've participated in some of the Waterfall long runs, and I'm someone who's observant. I know a lot of runners by just looking at the clubs, talking to the club members and so forth. And there was one club run that I did with Waterfall. I think it was late last year, and I remember the route coming from Polo Fields, and then Waterfall Drive, turning Allendale, and then coming up Pitts Avenue from Kyalami, going to Maple Road and so forth.
Yeah.
And I have observed how clinical you are in how you run and you managing pace. At some water point, I remember I saw some of the group that you ran with. You were saying, guys, we've now stopped for too long. Let's go. And I was there asking myself, this lady looks like a seasoned run, but you started somewhere.
Yeah.
Where did you start?
So unofficially, I started running in 2022. It has always been a goal of mine to run a race. As long as 21 at the time was I think it was, if I recall, in 2020, I had a New Year's resolution during COVID that I wanted to do 21 kilometers. It didn't happen in 2020. I was like, okay, 2021. So it's just been there, one of my goals, to start at least racing, but it never really happened. So in 2022, I guess I just decided, let me just download the program online. So I started with the 21 kilometer program.
Wow, couch to 21.
And what's funny is that at the time I didn't even have a watch.
Oh, yeah.
So I was using my phone. Okay. I downloaded that Nike app.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. The Nike app used to be the ish thing.
In fact, even now I had to go back and see what the hell was I doing.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I downloaded that app. So also the program, because I couldn't have it on my computer, I needed something visual for me to be able to look into in the morning and say, okay, this is what you need to do. So I basically went into that program, downloaded the program. It was like an A4 page. I stuck it behind my door.
Oh, you pasted it there.
Yes.
Yeah, people are saying.
And every time I would finish doing my run, then I would tick. So do you know how important that is?
What was the frequency? How many runs did you have?
So I think it was mainly 4 runs because it was a 21 kilometer program. So I would actually.
So that you managed that.
Yes, I was actually looking back. I think from May, June, July, I was actually consistent.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
So I would take, every time I finished my run, I think I had 2 to 3 rest days a week, which was manageable because, when you're starting, you don't really want to feel like you have to do this every day. Yeah. So sometimes having those breaks, it encourages you and make you look forward to running again. So I did that 21 kilometer program, but mid-June 2022, I decided, actually, why not run a marathon instead of a 21?
Wow.
Right? Okay. Why not? And then I decided, okay, I'm going to train for a marathon.
So you didn't run your
I
your
actually
race?
didn't even race the 21 years. Now I was so ambitious, I guess it's because I could see the progress.
Did you join the club by this time?
No.
So you were just training
no
by yourself?
Watch, no club.
No club.
Just me and my app.
Okay.
Yeah, running on the road. And then now it was July, I had a bit of inconsistencies with my running because I recently changed jobs at the time. So I was looking at my trends now. So from August, I clocked like an average of 100 kilometers
A month.
a month.
Okay.
September, same thing. October, just over 100. I'm like, okay. And then I did my first marathon, which was Kapso.
Okay.
So I think the reason I was motivated to do Kapso, people told me it was a down run, easy, right? You could just go
I know the lies.
and cruise nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did Kapso in Mpumalanga in November 2022.
Okay.
That was my first marathon. Yeah, no. I suffered that day.
Zikhalile.
And I even suffered after finishing for a good week. My quads were like,
Yeah, because you know those
Painful.
mountains, as you go down, the quads take a lot of beating there.
yeah. So that's when I learned you don't just approach things because you think they are easy. Approach them because you have done the work, you have prepared yourself, and then you go there with confidence.
So with the 21, you're gonna finish, like with the
Most
training for
likely,
21,
yes.
you're gonna finish
Comfortably, most
comfortably.
likely,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
And then the 42, you just what was the longest distance you had done before going for attempting that 42?
Sure, I would have to remember,
Okay.
but I was probably maybe managed to squeeze one long run in October because now I knew I was going to do a marathon.
A long run of 25, 30?
I think it was 30, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was just one long run of 30 around October. Yeah.
Okay.
But my mileage for the combined for the 3 months was only 300 kilometers.
And what did you learn after you went and did your from couch to your 42 kilometers? What were the learnings? Did you get demotivated or anything?
Yeah, no, I learned that marathon is not easy. Yeah,
It's long.
It's long.
Okay.
And there's a point where, you know, in the beginning you feel good. And then after that, that's when the marathon starts. Then I remember it didn't matter that it was a down. I was even tired of the downs. So I was just walking.
Yeah.
So there was no strategy whatsoever. I didn't even know how to fuel on the roads. You know, how long I should stop if I need to stop for like a hydration, nothing. So I learned that those are things, if you really want to enjoy a marathon, you need to plan during your training.
And then the shoes.
Luckily, I've always been a Nike person. I think my first
Oh,
pair
you
of
like
shoes,
Nike.
yeah, which are generally I still run with Nike. So I think
Oh.
they are very comfortable for me.
Yeah.
So I think I had bought a pair of Nikes. I'm not sure which one. Yeah.
But it was proper for running.
It was proper for running. Yeah, like yeah, I had
Okay.
a good pair of shoes. Still didn't have a watch. I think I used my phone to also record. I didn't know my splits, so I finished. And then people's like, "Oh, well done, you have qualified." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Who are these people?
I remember one of our elite ladies was also there. Her name was Funeka. It's like, "Are you qualified?" I'm like, "Qualified for what?" So I didn't even like think.
It didn't ring a bell.
Yeah, what exactly am I qualifying for? So all I knew was like, I'm just in pain. I need to go relax, sit down, drink something or eat something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No club at that moment as
no
well.
club at that time.
Okay. Then let's move from that marathon. Now, I think the bug had already beat you by then. And how did you maneuver your way to where you are now?
Okay, I think actually now running that first marathon is actually what brought me to even thinking about joining a running club.
Okay.
Because again, if you join a running club, then you get to have people or community of people that you can run with. And most importantly, I had Waterfall, our athletics club, which was very close by.
Okay.
So I was like, why not join a club? Now I get to run every Saturday, you know, challenge myself and also do this long run. Because I've always like ran alone before that. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the time if I really want to run these long marathons. Let me join a club. And I started with Waterfall Jan 2023.
Yeah, I was going to say Jan
Yes.
2023.
Yes. So I then, again, told myself, I've ran a marathon, so now just going to train for perhaps another marathon and better my time. At the time, I didn't have a set marathon, but I think Cape Town attracted me the best because I wanted to travel as well. So I think I said, okay, my first my marathon would be, my next marathon would be Sunland, Cape Town.
Which is October.
Which is October. But again, it goes back to the thing of I didn't want to put myself under pressure, right?
Yeah.
I knew like I just needed to first build my base, be comfortable in running, and then go and run.
So you did, why was the second marathon then Cape Town, or
No.
you
So
decided?
through my training now with
Yeah.
Waterfall, I did my second marathon, which was now Eden Vale.
In March.
In March.
Okay.
So now I had at least 3 months. Well, not 3 months really, because Eden Vale is normally early March. Yeah.
Beginning, yeah.
So I went there knowing I'm just gonna better my time, but it's not like I'm gonna set a ridiculous time, you know.
Okay.
I remember I think I finished it in 4:30.
And then your Kapse Hoop finish time?
Kapsa Hoop, I think 4:50.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
4:50. So I just like cut 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Which I was so happy, you know,
But
about.
how about the pains after the second marathon?
Now, because I've managed to train at Waterfall with the heels, and I did a couple of long runs. I think 2 long runs in Jan and in Feb. So I was actually okay. I didn't feel the same pains I felt when I did Kapsa.
And your 21 kilometer dream, was it packed or
Now,
was it swept
obviously
under
now
the carpet?
21 was out of the way because I've actually ran a marathon. So I felt for me there's no need,
wow.
right? Yeah, so let me just focus now on marathons. 21s would just be there for fun, right?
So that will be a club run.
It would be my, and it's mostly it was just my club run. Yeah.
So you haven't done any race where you did your 21? I know you need to tick that box. That box must be
So
ticked.
from 2023, I didn't really race
Okay.
much, but I think if I did at 21, sure, it would have been maybe after June, but I don't remember. I don't remember.
You did your Eden Vale.
So I did Eden Vale,
Uh-huh.
then my third marathon was now Sanlam Cape Town.
Oh, nice. So you had a nice time to
Yes.
to prepare for all of these
Yes.
things. And then after Sanlam, where did this monster now, which is 90 kilometers?
So they were still obviously now. Firstly, I did well in my first Sanlam marathon. I think I finished it in sub 4 hours. So the confidence now was there.
4:30 sub 4, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I
Levels.
actually did well. I mean, I guess I trained right from that time where I did Eden
Yeah.
Vale until October. I was well prepared. So from there, it was now October 2023. Same question when I ran in Comrades. I was like, I'm still not ready to run Comrades, right? So when are you gonna run? I was like, I'll see, maybe next year. But I knew it can't be that I can run in June 2024.
Yeah.
Because for me, I've always had people say you at least need a year to prepare. I was like, I'm still not obviously ready for that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, 2025, I'll do my first conference. So I now had the whole of 2024, which my training really started in June 2024 for Comrades.
Oh, so when you were going to Comrades, you now started to focus.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think also one of the things that helped me in maybe reinforcing the fact that this is something that I would do in future. I started saying, okay, let me go to Devon and second, right? And just to see how, what's the big deal about this Comrades. So,
And what did you see? That's interesting.
I saw runners. I mean, I can't describe what goes into runners' mind, right? To decide to run 90 kilometers. I feel like
Yeah.
there's an element of crazy, right? So I was at the 29 kilometer mark, which is
Just
still
continue,
very
yeah.
early, which is still very early for Comrades. So what I've observed at the 29 kilometer mark, people were very fresh, they were still having all smiles in their faces, greeting. Yeah, so it was generally like a good thing to see. Like, they are fit, they are excited about this, and they're basically looking forward to running their Comrades. And then obviously there comes a time now where there's cut off. So now I think the cut off, I don't know how many hours? After 3 hours for the 29?
For the 29, it was about 4:30.
Yeah, I think
4 hours,
roughly
30
there.
minutes.
Then I started seeing runners approaching.
At Cato Reach, I think, yeah.
Yes, at Cato Ridge. And now in my mind, I'm like, this is 29, it's like close to that time, like 4 hours. How are you going to finish this Comrades? And now you see people, some saying, oh, I have a toothache. Do you guys have a panado? I'm like, okay, now I know this is not the runner that I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I'm sick, surely I shouldn't even be attempting to run this thing. So I think one of the lessons was to see the people that go there prepared, and then seeing also the ones that completely, I think, just force things, which is not a good thing. And then the following year, I went down again. Now I was at Drummond, which was halfway mark. So Drummond, the vibe was great. You know, it was nice. I think there's close by was the Chelsea.
I know Hollywood, I can't recall Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it was actually very nice. And at the time, I was also responsible for supporting some of our elites. So it was nice. It was a very nice experience. That's when I decided I really want to do this.
Okay.
I really, really want to do this. So coming back from that experience, that's when I started looking into the programs for Comrades. And I think on their website, they had like programs.
Yeah,
but I didn't really follow a program. But I just said, let me just consistently run. Every weekend, I'll go to Waterfall, maybe do a 21, do a 15, but I will just be consistent. And I came to, again, another decision to say, what mileage should I maybe target for? That's when I now broke it down and said, okay, if I can at least do 200 kilometers every month, then I should be fine going to Comrades next year, because that will be like close to 1,000, which people at the time are recommending.
Yeah.
Right? So I started now aiming for 200 Ks every month, which I did well, I think, up until December. In December, I went home, I couldn't run 200 kilometers.
Home is home, December is December.
So now I come back excited. I'm running Comrades this year. I was invited by some of my running friends, like, let's go for a run, New Year's run. We go and run 21 kilometers on New Year's. Have not ran for a good 2 weeks at home. I suffered that day. I was like, yeah, this is not how to train. So obviously you don't take big gaps because now you have to pay for them. So I remember telling myself, it's like, okay, it means if I'm not consistent, then I'll have to suffer, and I'll try not to at least skip a week, you know?
Yeah.
So even if I'm busy, but at least let me get 2 or 3 runs in the week. Whether it's like 5K or 10K, but let me do something.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Active rest, kind of like.
Yes, makes a huge difference. So I followed my program. I think I ended up clocking 280 Ks in Jan, which was my peak month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trained consistently in Feb, March. Luckily, I had no injuries from my Comrades training. So we had our send-off. The club had a send-off, and then I remember people asking me, what's your target? Like, guys, I'm a first-time Comrades runner. The target is to just finish.
Okay.
I don't have any medal that I'm chasing. And then I remember I also joined another send-off, which was now at Centurion for the Centurion crew. So the
Waterfall Centurion crew.
Yes. Yeah. So I remember the discussion in the table. People was like, but if you do a 6:40 pace, or if you do 7 minutes pace, you can get bronze. If you do 6:30, you can do Robert Mitchell. And then I looked at my running average pace. I'm like, I've been consistently running at 6:30. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can just stick to 6:30 as my running strategy, literally a week before Comrades. Like, I can stick to that and then see what I get out of it. So I did exactly that on race day. I started very slow, 6:30 pace, consistently. I was in group 2, which was nice also because it didn't give me the pressure to sprint.
Oh, you came with the batch system.
Yes, it was so nice. There was no pressure, there was no stampede. I maintained my 6:30 pace, walked majority of the hills, because that's what, again, people were recommending, that you don't race hills, you just walk. So I did exactly that. I think I was fine, and I was following my hydration plan, because I had my rehydrants, I had my gel every 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, I would take a gel. I did exactly that, but there's a point now where you get tired of taking gels, and then in that case, I used to just drink the hydrant, maybe grab a banana or a potato. So 70-kilometer mark, that's when things started.
That is Pine Town.
Pine Town, I recall.
Yeah, as you go through the subway to the.
You know when you tell yourself, because you do training runs, it's like, no man, this is now less than 20, half a marathon. You know when runners talk like that, it's like, no, but you have been running for 70 kilometers. So I think now that's where the mental aspect starts to kick in. You know, I'm like, I mean, my body in terms of fitness, right? I was fine. I was not feeling any aches. It's just like mental fatigue.
Oh, you had the mental one.
Yeah, where you don't know what to focus or concentrate on, and you're just like
running alone or running with a club member.
At the time, at 70-kilometer mark, I think I just actually joined one of my club members who was coming from Group 1. He was also chasing a Robert Mitchell, I recall. So he actually said to me, you can do a Robert Mitchell.
Because you were 15 minutes, you had 15 minutes advantage.
Yeah. So actually, that's one of the things that kept me motivated. Like, okay, I'm still on track because I'm averaging it. I think at the time it was 6:35 or something. So we actually pushed together. And I remember now, I was at Westville now when you start climbing the last few.
Yeah, Westville when you're gonna go, because when you pass 21 kilometers to go, it's Pine Town.
Yes.
So Westville is when you go down the, where's this, that first hill, when you do up run, there's that hill, Cowie's Hill.
Yeah.
So as you go up Cowie's Hill, then you go down,
Yeah, so I still don't know the hills, by the way, so I'm still going to learn the hills. So yeah, basically, I was now finished. The last 10 kilometers, I was just pushing through. And I recall now my mental, aspects where, sometimes in a marathon when I get tired, I would walk. Now I was feeling like, can I just walk? But this guy said, no, you're almost there. You can't be walking.
That lie that we hear from
and that,
races that say you're almost there.
Yeah, and it's now 3 kilometers and I can see that big arc and my legs can't take it anymore. But it's like, no, you can do it. Yeah. You are within the Robert Mitchell's time, so keep going. And I think it really helped me. I think I managed to just push the last 2 kilometers. They were really challenging.
And what was your finishing time?
Finishing time was now 9:56.
Nice.
Able to get my Robert Mitchell, which was quite nice. And I feel like what worked was the fact that I maintained a consistent pace. I could easily run a 5:30 if I'm on like a fresh legs like in the beginning, but I resisted that thought. Because I was like, this is Comrades. You might feel like you can do 5:30, but don't go there.
Need to get excited.
Don't go there. So I just maintained that 6:30 pace, which for me was a nice, easy pace. So I managed to reserve a lot of energy, which I think that's why my first Comrade was quite enjoyable.
From sub 10, the target has moved to sub 9. Why?
So, if we were to just talk about pace, right? Not talk about Comrades. I can easily run a sub 6.
Sub 6?
A 6 minute pace.
6. That's the pace that you actually require for.
So, personally, I can easily do a 6 minute pace. But running Comrades at 6 minutes is not obviously just easy. So I have to practice it on my long runs, which is what already I've started doing. Like my yesterday run, it was at that pace and I was comfortable.
You did 30?
I did 31 kilometers. Just under 6. I think it was 5:54.
So now you are intentional about...
I'm intentional about my long runs. They must at least be at 6 minutes. If I do decide to do 5:30, maybe that will be the day where maybe I'm just challenging myself on the hills, but I don't believe that I must race or run fast on my long runs. My long runs are there to help with muscle endurance and No, it's not about speed.
Yeah.
So now I'm being intentional about my long runs at that pace. And yeah, I think I will still do my tempo runs, once a week, and my strength training. So it's something that obviously I just need to be consistent on, because strength training is one of those things you mustn't neglect as a runner, because you'll prevent injuries.
You joined Waterfall 2023. When did you learn about the new, fueling strategy, strength training, speed training, and so forth?
So fueling have not been really good at it, because I remember on my long runs, I would just grab whatever we are provided, which there's nothing wrong with that, because on our tables, for instance, you would have Coke, you would have banana, which I think can sustain you.
Yeah.
But however, if you start wanting to maybe run efficiently, I think the advice I got was like, at least grab 1 or 2 gels if you're going to do a long run. Because now you won't be slowing down because you feel like you're out of energy. So maybe have two gels if you want to do 30 kilometers. So you can now optimize your training, where you're not just running to finish, where you start dropping now if you're going uphill. So I think I've incorporated gels now, maybe 1 or 2 gels if I'm doing a long run. But before, I would not carry anything.
Just like me.
Yeah.
I run clean, I don't carry anything.
Yeah, but I guess there's a point now where you no longer have anything, where you start slowing down. And for me, I don't want that, because I want to optimize my training as much as possible. Where if I say I'm going to do a 6 minutes pace, I start and finish with 6 minutes. I don't drop because I'm now low on energy. Yeah.
Let's just talk about your relationship with the Waterfall Athletics Club. You joined Waterfall Athletics Club 2023 and you're still running with them. You know what, I'm not biased towards Waterfall, but they are doing a good job in the social running space, to a point whereby I call them our woolworths of running, of running clubs. What have you learned in Waterfall running in the Waterfall Running Club that has helped you to reach the level whereby even you are confident? You started with Robert Mchali, and now you are targeting even Bill Rowan, and you're confident.
I think because with such a big club, a growing club, there's really different runners. We have slow runners, we have fast runners that do silver with Robert Mchali. So for me, I mean, there's certain things where you read on the internet that, for you to do this, you must train like this. But with our training, with so many different type of runners, you can actually see how different someone is during training who runs a silver versus someone who does a Biron versus someone who's chasing, their bronze. So you can already see this is maybe what I also need to do. So with the guys, obviously, most of our guys are a bit faster. So I tend to like to obviously.
No, I've seen you run with them.
Yeah, run with guys because they challenge me, right?
Are those any of those guys have one of the guys that you run with ever run Bill Rowan?
Yesterday, most of the guys that I was running with, they're also chasing Bill Rowan. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So I'm in the presence of the people
definitely.
that are chasing the same thing, which is good because it makes your goal more, I guess, easy
to relate
to it, because now you can say, okay, people are running at this pace and I can actually maintain the same pace with them. I can do this, right? So you have that kind of confidence that you build over time. So I train with guys that, for instance, would run is silver sometimes. Maybe for them on that day they just want to.
They just want to go easy.
Yeah, and then I'll run with them. But mostly, if I feel like I'm like my muscles are sore, if anything, I don't put myself under pressure.
Okay. And then the support from Waterfall?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, having a water point every 5 kilometers, it's a dream, because now you can literally plan how you're going to hydrate on the road. You can literally plan what you're gonna take on the water point. So it's something that helps to structure your training, and also the vibe, like the guys will cheer you on and you just keep getting motivated to run.
And you are part of the Waterfall Exco.
Yes.
And your role being the training officer.
Yeah.
Well, what does that entail?
So in the training office, we're mostly responsible for our weekly training program.
Weekly, from Monday to Sunday?
Yeah, most of our trainings are designed in such a way that every week you would be able to follow a program. And it also incorporates beginner program, maybe guys that are still comfortable running, but maybe they just want to chase a faster time. Mm-hmm. So basically we have those options, and we assist, for guys that need to maybe just first time running. Yeah. What can I do to be able to run my first 20K or my first marathon?
Oh, I thought you designed these difficult routes. You just intentionally go and look at. No, I want this hill. I want this nip and pick.
Midrand is very hilly. Yeah. So it's not intentional that all our routes are hilly, but really? We try to make them difficult so that people can actually get used to doing difficult things.
Yeah.
Because the more difficult your training is, the chances
the
that
easier.
Your race is gonna be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have difficult routes, which I think that was the best thing that I did in terms of joining Waterfall to train for my first Comrades.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're mostly training on hilly routes, and Comrades is quite hilly.
Yeah.
So my body already adapted to that. So it was not something that was a shock that, I'm going to have to climb a 2-kilometer hill. I was already used to climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going for, you chose to target Bill Rowan on the upper run. And I think you've heard what Coach Perry was saying about the upper run. That, you've got the Fields Hill, you've got Cowens Hill, you've got Drummond, you've got Polyshots. From building from that session, have you already started to explore maybe different strategies that you're going to employ?
Yes.
Maybe have a plan A, plan B in terms of tackling the upper.
I think I only have one plan, which is to incorporate a lot of long runs on hilly routes, which already Waterfall provide me with that. So one of the things obviously that is different is running marathon versus training for a Comrades, two different things. So for a marathon, for instance, you incorporate flats because most of our marathons have generally flat courses. But with Comrades, I don't really need to do a long run on a flat route. Yeah. So now I can just go to Waterfall. I'll literally, like yesterday, get 500-meter elevation in a 31 kilometer. That 500-meter elevation is a lot.
Yeah, I did 600 today on a 32.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, you finish and you can feel it.
Yeah, but definitely.
Yeah. So for me, it's only one plan. I would do my long runs with Waterfall every Saturday, and I would just maintain the paces that I want to maintain.
What are the races that you've earmarked in preparation for Comrades?
Okay, so I have one marathon. My first marathon this year would be Eden Vale, which is in March.
Yeah, so it's your second love.
I guess.
Your first love was,
I guess I actually enjoy it, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do Eden Vale. I'm planning to do Irene as my ultra.
Okay.
And I would also do my way, Wali, which is in
May.
Yeah. So I did Wali last year as well, which was nice. I think it's early enough to still recover for Comrades. So I felt like I don't need anything beyond the first week of May as a long run. So my long run would be my way Wali in first.
Oh, you're not going
May.
For the 3-some or some 60Ks?
Well, yes, what works for me.
Yeah.
50, 56 is good enough.
So 48 will be your longest.
Yes,
Oh wow, you're not doing 2 oceans, by the
I'm
way.
not doing 3 oceans this year.
Is it?
Yeah. So-
And have you won Waterfall international colors? And if so, where?
One.
Won like
Oh yeah, but I mean,
which races did you do outside South
I
Africa?
only did one. It was in Paris.
Oh, Schneider Electric.
Yes, it was very
nice.
But it's the different race, very flat.
Yeah.
So you go there with the hopes that it's flat and then I'm gonna do well. But you must.
Hey, flat of it.
No, if you don't train on flat routes,
Yeah.
don't expect to be able to run 42 kilometers
Oh,
nicely. You know, you
gotcha.
must incorporate your long runs on flatter routes. So my takeaway from there was, yes, I might have been fit based on my training that I was doing, but I never trained on flat courses.
Yeah.
So I suffered as a result of that.
What was your finish there?
Actually had finished in 3:52.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
still a sub 4.
It was still a sub 4, but I mean, it was not a big improvement from my last Sanlam, because my last Sanlam was 3:54.
Oh,
So it was like 2 minutes.
but then let's go back. Let me take you back a
Yeah.
little bit. With what Coach Perry has alluded to, you need for Bill Rowan, you need to run your qualifier
3:35. Yes.
So where do you plan to do that on a marathon? Is it My Way
So I've
Wali
actually-
or Edenvale?
So I've already qualified for Comrades.
Yeah.
So I got finished Jacaranda 3:36, which is not far
which
off.
is just a minute
Which
off.
is not far off. So my understanding again, those are just guidelines, right? The rule of thumb is that if you can maintain certain paces, like I'm saying now, on average, if you can average, it's close to 6 minutes on your long run comfortably.
Yeah.
So for me, those are indicators
Okay, you building from there.
that you can be able to, do a race.
And then in terms of the mileage that they've advised on, are you going for that 2,000 mileage or lesser?
I don't really have a plan for my mileage per se, but I do have a plan to at least do over 200 kilometers a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes, obviously, if I do a long run, I run 4 times a week, I can easily clock 200 kilometers a month.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
So I don't really monitor my mileage like that to say, oh, now today I must run this and then, I must get to 400. No, I just know if I do one long run, I do 2 couple of medium long runs a week, recovery run. I will sit comfortably at 60 kilometers, and by the end of the month, I would average up just above 200.
How often do you run a week? Like, what's your frequency? Do you run 3 during the week, 1 weekend? How do you train
So
now?
I mostly run about 6 times a week.
Okay.
Sometimes I would skip Fridays. Actually, most of the time I would skip Fridays. Sometimes I would skip Mondays if, for instance, I did a long run and then I tried to do a recovery run on Sunday and then I feel like my muscles are very painful. I would maybe take a break.
Okay.
But I would say consistently I'll run 6 times a week.
6 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys mean business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're used to it, right? And also, you don't always run longer distances. So running a 10 kilometer is something that, it's just an hour run and should be done. And, it's not like planning for 3 hours like yesterday on the road where you really need to have time.
Post your back-to-back medal. Come the 14th of June, you get your Bill Rowan, you get your back-to-back medal. Are you setting? Are you planning a new target whereby you are done with Comrades, or you want to go to get your green number? What are your future plans?
So my main focus now is just Comrades. I've not really thought much about what marathons I'm going to do after Comrades. However, I think I still need to do a sub 330. So if I can do a sub 330, it would be great. So 320, that will even be better.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think I would only think about such marathons after my comrades, because now my main focus is comrades. And again, marathon training is completely different from comrades training, and I don't want to try to do two different trainings that will actually not work together. Yeah.
So focus is on the big
It's on the big C. Yeah.
All the best in your training. I wish you everything of the best in your
Thank
training.
you.
What's your message to your fellow ladies who are struggling, or who want to know, like maybe who want to be encouraged by you? What can you advise? How can you advise them?
Okay. So I think the advice that I go by, even for myself, don't think about the end goal. Sometimes we approach running as, I want to do a marathon. I want to do 2 oceans. I think of it differently and say, during a week, I want to run 3 times, because obviously you're still starting out. Run 3 times a week. Be consistent with that. What you start seeing is that you start getting fitter, and now you can see, oh, actually, I can recover, after a few days, and then I can actually do 10 kilometers, every Wednesday. I can now actually increase now to 20-kilometer long run. So you just start developing a routine where you can start, increasing that mileage gradually. And then when you still feel like you can actually comfortably finish a long run, let's say a 15-kilometer long run, maybe you can start challenging yourself and say, actually, I train, maybe give myself 12 weeks, or 14 weeks, and train for half. Then you now start following a program. And it's important to follow a program, because at least it's going to give you that confidence going to race day. You don't want to just train for a race and you don't know whether this is something that, you can do comfortably. For me, I always say you are supposed to enjoy yourself on race day, not there to suffer. Okay. So after you've built that base, follow a training program, and go and race. And on race day, just enjoy yourself. Don't put yourself under pressure. Don't compare yourself with people. We all come from different fitness levels. So you might be comparing yourself with me, but I've now been training this is now the 4th year in my run.
2026.
Exactly. So now, I would say I'm not a novice anymore. I've built myself into running, and I'm now more confident in my training. So do the same. Don't start with the big end goal. Start with just being consistent and telling yourself, I'm gonna at least run 3 times a week. And then after that, you just now start following programs to do your races. And I think for me, that's the advice I can give to someone who's new into running, someone who's maybe a marathon runner already going for comrades. Please do your long runs. Your long runs are
you mean
important.
the weekend long runs?
Yes, you don't always feel like it, but trust me, you don't want to be injured because now you're trying to do everything in 1 month because comrades is next month. You're going to get injured. So be consistent and do your long runs, do your strength training, and just, be confident in your training, and you'll be able to finish comrades.
Thanks, Phola.
Thank you so much.
I must thank you for your time, and hopefully post-comrades will just have a 10-15 minute session just to do a post-mortem, congratulate you.
Yes, that would be nice.
And
yeah.
Thank you
so much, Roadshow. I think it was quite nice that you invited me to just share my love for running, because I really do love running. I guess that's also another thing. I don't compare myself with runners because I just inherently like to run, go out on the run and keep challenging myself. So yeah, I think most people should obviously follow the same. They mustn't compare themselves with people, because you end up now doing things that are not in line with your fitness level. Just do what works for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And for you at home, like, subscribe, comment, and hope you have enjoyed our conversation with Phola. Tango. I'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.